Hey, it's you got to wear your mask if you want to travel these days. Matt, Tack, Reap the Harvest Show. We're live. I figured I'd just call this episode Getting the Job Done because Matt's been in and out of town here or out of town in Michigan here for about a week and a half
Yep.
and used the opportunity to walk through some apartment complexes that he owns, used the opportunity to look at some new properties. Now he's going back to Tampa to close on some properties, correct?
Yeah, so we got a couple closings in Tampa, and then I got to fly actually back up here because next week we got a tour of a 56 unit in Holland, Michigan. So it's got good stuff, man. We had a lot of good activity while in Michigan, and now heading back to Tampa. My goal
And I
is
think,
always
like I was saying, yeah, the lesson is that you've been getting the job done the whole time. So you've
sure.
leveraged this business opportunity and this business trip to spend some time with your family, give Kelly O a little happy time. I noticed you played a little beer pong in the garage one night, celebrating like it's 1997. And that's part of keeping sane is getting the job done, but at the same time having some fun. And that's the cool thing that the entrepreneur lifestyle can provide. And of course, in the real estate sector that you're in as well, it's heavy duty. There's a lot of responsibility and there's a lot of nuts and bolts that don't get discussed. As we move down the line, you'll be breaking some of that stuff down for people, especially in the group. But always getting the job done, dude. So what's next in Tampa? What are these deals you're going to be looking at?
These are actually, we just have some residential, we just wholesale closings we decided not to take on. We actually are working with, so we have actually 14 acres tied up right now, and I actually got to set up a meeting for a mobile home developer looking at some land. So we have that going on. We have a couple wholesaling closings, and then we also have the 4 tied up actually too that we're looking at. It's already entitled land that we're potentially doing our first new construction development on. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Nothing's set in stone right now, so we're just trying to get clarity and kind of future next steps. But my end goal, as I was talking today, and I'll go off on a tangent a little bit because I thought it was pretty cool, is to words of encouragement are so powerful. And it's a lot of people's love language when you do words of encouragement, words. I try to do that with my wife. I know that's her love language. I know that she has physical touch is another one. So I'm always trying to give her hugs and kisses. I'm a big kisser anyway. But some people say maybe too aggressive kisser, but I love kissing my kids. But so I had somebody call me up today. It's kind of crazy. It was actually one of our short-term rental tenants that actually came in, and she had I had just it was kind of weird because I very rarely met any of our short-term rental tenants. They just booked, and then we had an automated process where they would just check in. This one, I don't know, man. It was, I guess, divine because I had to actually meet this woman at the location for something. I honestly, she wanted to. It was pre-COVID by I think a couple months or whatever. She called me up today just to say, hey man, I've been praying for you and I had kind of a prophetic word for you. And she just started, she's like big things are headed your way. And I don't know, she was saying some really cool stuff that kind of hit home as far as she's like, I know you're going to be making some pretty strong decisions in future partnerships and you're going to be going internationally. And those are a couple of the things that we're working on right now. We're actually working on an Australian partnership for international funds. So we want to set up a fund for Australian investors to kind of pitch in. So we've been having discussions. I've been building a relationship internationally. And then we also, she was like, partnerships. Partnerships are huge to me. And you have to always surround yourself with the best people and actually have really cool partnerships. I was just listening to a guy today that was just talking about ethics and how you do the small things in life. And it was actually a relationship where it was a relationship, I guess, kind of podcast I was listening to. It was actually a radio station. But he was talking about how you need to, a lot of people get married, but they don't, they get married instead of and then instead of a somebody, and where they know the intrinsics of how people act and do things in the smallest ways. And I mean, I think that's one of the biggest, from a relationship standpoint. My wife and I got to know each other, and I got to know her heart and her mission in life. And it really, we got to know each other before we got married, albeit there was a lot of growth, through our relationship process, but so important to actually know your partners, know what they do in the smallest ways. And one of the things he said was kind of cool. He's like, you should know if your partners cheat on the golf course, because if they cheat on the golf course, they have other areas that they're probably going to cheat in, right? And then, he said, you should know how your partners are going to act when you're sitting in traffic and they're 10 minutes late to a meeting, and there's no way around it. Like, how are they going to act? Like, those are the things you need to know about your partner. So anyways, this woman had called me up, and she just gave me like really words of encouragement that were amazing. And that's one thing I want to hold myself to, is to never let those words of encouragement pass me by, where I can give them to somebody else, pass that on, that level of that opportunity where I can just empower others. So I think those words of encouragement are pretty powerful, and that's getting the job done, right? Getting the job done is just being, who wants to be around people that are just going to knock everybody else down? I just want to be an empower, and I appreciated that from her today. She really empowered me to keep moving forward and do the things that I'm doing, but maintain. I lose you. Popped in and out there. You hear me? I lose you.
I'm
Pat,
here. Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, you heard everything I said?
Yeah. Your video was just cutting out a little bit.
Oh, cool. All right.
And then I mute myself when you're talking, because you know how noisy I am, just being alive. But anyway, no, I think it's awesome. And getting the job done. It's like, you're busy, but like, we still found a way to get this in. Yeah. And that's the name of the game. I feel like sometimes these 7 to 10 minute ones are the most easily digested. They're some of the best ones we do. So it's a beautiful thing. You're on the move. You're making deals happen. You're expanding. Yep. I thought the little walk through the apartment the other day was cool. You guys go check out that episode from Monday. For and sure. Just keep doing your thing, man.
Go on my personal page too. We're going to be setting up a fund and raising capital for a smaller strip mall that we got going on, 19,000 square feet. So that was a pretty cool one too. That we went over. Nice. There with me. Shot a live video with all the current tenant base. We're going to be doing some big things there too, so it'll be really cool, really in a really cool downtown market there.
That's awesome. Maybe we'll break that deal down on Friday or Monday or something like that.
Cool, man. I would love that. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Do that for the people.
Sounds good. For the people. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday. Maddie's on the move, getting the job done. It's real when you're running a business. It's real, guys. It's not just, sitting, eating coconuts by the beach with your feet in the sand every day. You got to be in the trenches getting the job done. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but something has to get done. Those coconuts don't just show up out of nowhere. Somebody's got to pay for them. So anyway, Matt, I appreciate you, my brother. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for having me on. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great Wednesday, and we'll see y'all next time.
All right, brother. Peace. Follow me. Official